Hello, you have accidentally skated into the view from the crow's nest. I'm Robert Crowe, and whenever I get around to it, I investigate some fast topics. Our program today is Bobsled. It was the most frightened I have ever been in my life. I went with some friends to ski the Olympic downhill runs in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia. That was before the locals started shooting each other. While there, I met some of the people who were with ZOI Tours, Z-O-I Tours. That's the Yugoslav Internal Travel Commission. During our chat, they said, "Hey, do you want to go with us? Tonight we're going down the Olympic bobsled run. It isn't open to the public, but we have made arrangements." Well, I'd never done that before, so I said, sure. It was a nervous moment standing at the top of the bobsled run. The bright lights cast an eerie pall over the quiet night scene. The icy run snaked down the mountain as far as I could see, and I feared that it went on too long. I had a seat in the middle of the sled. An experienced driver was in the first slot, and a brakeman was in the last slot. My first surprise was the shape of the run. The icy banks were higher than I thought, but I could still see the night sky and knew if things did not go well, the sled might go toward the North Star or a South Star. I smiled as the sled slowly began to move. No running start for us. After a few meters, I poked my head up and looked around. That was just prior to the sled moving into low gear. As the momentum got my attention, I ducked my head into the shoulder of the person in front. There didn't seem to be an intermediate speed. We went from sort of fast to an outrageous screaming bullet flying over the ice with a noise that reminded me of a snowplow on concrete. I then made a mistake. I opened my eyes. The express curled under a turn. As I stole a glance, I found that I was looking down. If the sled ever turned over, we would be crushed and ground into itty-bitty human ice crystals. Just as I thought the sled reached top speed, it throttled up a few notches. I knew I was going to die, so I thought it might as well be from holding my breath. Fortunately, before I could implement my plan, the speed slowed as we traversed a slight uphill grade. When the sled ground to a halt, I disembarked. I asked if the brakeman had fallen off the sled because I didn't think he'd done anything. I was told that we were only going about 50 miles an hour, about half of the usual Olympic speed. There was an old army truck at the bottom of the run, and that took us back to the top. While chatting, everyone had a shot of a nasty clear liquid called Slivovitz. Over here we call it kerosene. The drink warmed the body and made one forget the run. And Slivovitz will make you forget a lot of other things, too. "You want to go down again?" I was asked. "Sure," I replied, "and this time I'll keep my eyes open." And that second run was the second most frightened I've ever been in my life. Well, that's our program for today. Check back often and see if we ever have the courage to try this again on another random topic. I'm Robert Crowe with The View from the Crow's Nest.